Hey, I decided to put my hair up in a bun and talk to you about black magic and the nocebo effect. I made a video, it's on my TikTok, about the nocebo effect and what black magic is about. So we all know what the placebo effect is, right? That pill that you could take that is like a sugar pill, and if a doctor tells you, hey, this is going to cure your pain, you take it, and even though it's not a painkiller, you're going to feel relief from the pain because it is a mental thing. It's a mental thing. So with the nocebo effect, it's the bad twin of the placebo effect, and this is how black magic works. So we embody energy. So within our cells, we embody energy, and I am referring now to how some of these celebrities and some even powerful people, even in the government, they use this method. The problem is that nobody tells them that this is uh, fake. Even though at first it works, it is not sustainable because it is done with an ego mentality. And the ego is what the Bible refers to as the false God. So you feed this false God, the ego, like, I want to be rich, or I want that woman, or I want that guy. That's the man I want. So people take like people's bodily fluids, and then they use it in formats to build some form of leverage in order for them to achieve whatever it is that they want to achieve, whether if it's fame, fortune, a relationship. But again, it is not sustainable because you're working with black magic. You are also breaking the first law in uh, in the spiritual world. It is free will. On this earth, we have free will. So when you meet someone and then you know that that person is with someone else, for example, like I'm referring to Puff Daddy, he would meet women that would have husbands, boyfriends, whatever it is, and he wanted them, and he would do these magic in order to get them and get them hooked. So they would stay with him, they would get addicted, and with this type of mental nocebo effect, he would hold on to them, he would ruin their lives. Some of these people, he ended up putting them on shrugs. He also would manipulate them, love bomb them. They would get that Stockholm syndrome, and even his own children have Stockholm syndrome. So this is the way that the devil works, that the ego works, so that this is where the devil holds his throne inside the mind. Once you get to become so narcissistic, so egotistic, such a huge monster of a demonic entity, you are unstoppable. And the only way that something is going to stop you is by ending up in jail, or worse, passing on. And it is so much better to pretty much be in jail and do your time and pay for your sins and pay for everything you do here on earth, because when you go to the other side, you don't end up having peace eternally and being with God in that love format. You end up having to repeat things again. And that's why they say that purgatory is here on earth. A lot of Christians say that we are stuck here on this earth. Some religions believe that we are here in human form and it is purgatory. Some religions feel that we're here on earth, and while we're here on earth, there are spiritual forms that are around us, and these spirits are stuck here because they're not in heaven in peace and in that love kingdom with God, with the angels, because we're stuck here in the purgatory kind of quantum physics or whatever it is that science, I don't even think science believes in that, but the religious belief is that they are here on earth. Like, for example, there's spirits all around us or something to that effect. But some spiritual masters don't believe that either, because they say that these spirits, you can either have them around you or you can keep them away from you. There are some spiritual people that I have heard them say that they don't have any spirits in their home, that they know how to turn on like a candle, say a prayer, and they feel that kind of energy when it does enter in their homes or in their space. Now, I'm not sure, because at the end of the day, I always feel peace around me. I have always welcomed God in my heart, in my spirit, in my mind. One of the things that I had mentioned before was that my grandparents taught me how to pray at a very young age. And because both of my parents were in the United States and I was in the Dominican Republic, they told me that my first father was God and that I could always connect with God and talk to God. So everything I did, even when I went partying, when I went to Boston, when I hung out with football players, celebrities, I literally always told God, come with me. And I would be like, Dad, you're coming with me. I don't care if I'm drinking. I don't care if I'm doing whatever I'm doing. You are coming with me. So I felt always a sense of protection. We were always safe. I was very lucky, I never had really terrible tragedies happen to me. And I had a great experience in my youth meeting a lot of famous people. And thank goodness I never went to any of those Diddy parties. I did go to a football players party, and they did have a pretty happening party. There were people that were hired, women that were hired, and every room that I went into, something was going on. But me and my friends, once we realized that that was the type of energy that was floating, we left and we went to another party. We went to some other football player's house that him and his wife had something that was much more calm, and it wasn't like that type of energy. So, but those parties were happening. They were going on, and if you wanted to find them, you could get yourself into them. And I'm blessed and I'm lucky that that was not my flow. That was not where I ended up. And I do believe that I was always protected, always guided. And that's my advice. Like, don't allow anyone to take your bodily fluids. Be careful who you give your energy to. That stuff with black magic does work, but it is not sustainable. It is the nocebo effect, and I would never want to mess with any of that stuff. It is not healthy. I dated a man who had a girlfriend who did work with that type of magic. And when I met him, I did tell him, like, I believe that some of that stuff, this woman might have done stuff to you. And he would say, oh, no, she might have, but none of that ever affects me. And he was full of black magic. I mean, he even sent me a text one time that was sent to him, and I know it came from someone in her group because it was that area code. And he was so twisted that he was, I guess, I don't know, trying to say he didn't believe it, but soon after that, he went manic and he imagined me with another man. And it was actually my husband's picture. He kept saying, oh, I saw you with another man. I saw you texting another man with a circle in his picture. And to be honest with you, the other man that had the circle in the picture, if I could show you, it was my husband Reggie's from his death, the passing. It was a picture in a wallet from his passing. It wasn't a man. That's how crazy he was. from black magic.